Beware, this is the story of a girl who was trapped with his cruel husband. One boy came to her life to free her, but the grip of the abusive husband was too firm. Casey, in a stunning red dress exuding gorgeous beauty, captures the attention of everyone in the gathering as she enters, accompanied by Matt, a tall and handsome man who also garners appreciation. They are the most beautiful couple present, but beneath the facade of perfection lies a hidden truth. Bruises on Casey's hands and excessive makeup concealing swollen eyes reveal the interior turmoil Casey endured. Matt, a savvy businessman with good looks, presents a charming exterior to the world, but at home, he becomes a monster. Casey doesn't come from an affluent background. She met him in college when he gave a pep talk to the students. Matt was instantly smitten with Casey and approached her, making her feel like she was living a dream where a handsome, successful man fell for her. Initially, Casey had reservations despite Matt's charm and wealth. She didn't know much about him. As they spent time together, Matt behaved gentlemanly. Casey realized Matt was so himself and always talked about his accomplishments and how he made this empire himself. But Casey thought he was so confident, so it was a good thing. Casey does not realize the deeper complexities within him. On the first night of marriage, Matt came home drunk and grabbed Casey's hair, demanding, "Why did you insult me in front of everyone?" Casey, in pain and bewildered, retaliated by pushing him away. But Matt didn't stop there. He slapped her and asked why she had said, "I will make you my puppet." Suddenly, Casey remembered a conversation with her friend about putting a leash on their husbands. Then Casey says jokingly, "Yeah, sure. I will make sure he remains mine." Matt, however, took it as an insult and hit her on their wedding night. Casey realized she had made a big mistake. Casey wanted to leave, but Matt said, "Oh, darling, you cannot go anywhere. I will ensure that. I love you very much." From that moment on, Matt kept Casey as his prisoner. When his mood was right, he loved her. When it was terrible, he beat her. Casey tried to escape from her captor, but he was so influential and made an excellent reputation in front of the world. Hence, no one believed her. Matt told the world that his wife is facing anxiety attacks and has some mental disorder. When Casey attempted to reveal his atrocities, no one believed her. She tried to escape several times, but was caught each time by his guards. After years of retaliation, Casey resigned herself to this fate. Now, she didn't utter a word and obeyed Matt's every command. Even the slightest mistake incurred Matt's wrath. Nothing bothered her anymore, except for one sentence Matt would say, "Look, now I've made you my puppet." When Matt is busy with friends at the gathering, Casey excuses everyone and stands alone on the balcony, immersed in her thoughts. One strange voice struck from behind. "Are you okay?" Casey saw the person behind and indulged in her thinking again without saying a word. Telling the person to go away without saying any word. He was adamant. He asked her name, but Casey started to go away without saying any word. But to her surprise, the person grabbed her hand and said, "I know what you are going through." Casey is afraid now. If Matt sees this scene, he will kill her. "Don't touch me ever again." She snared, and the person relented. "Sorry, it is important. I want to tell you something," the person says, but Casey doesn't reply and starts walking towards Matt, who is busy talking with his colleagues. Life goes on, and after weeks, Casey visits the shopping mall with Matt's guards. She wandered around and entered a shop. There, she spotted the person on the balcony. Casey noticed the guards paying attention to her from the shop's entrance. She grabbed a shirt and headed towards the changing room, where the person from the balcony awaited her. Casey furiously says, "Why are you following me? I don't want to talk to you." But the person replied, "Hi, I am Robert. I know Matt and how he treats you, and I can help you." Casey was surprised by his reaction. "This is not your problem," Casey says. "I know your problem is not mine, but Matt is my problem." Casey saw guards enter the shop to check on her. "Okay, I have to go," Casey said. Robert gave her his card and said, "Call me. I want to tell you something about Matt." He then entered another changing room. Meanwhile, Casey's guard arrived and inquired about her departure. After some days, Casey got the chance to meet Robert again at the usual gathering with Matt. While Matt was talking with friends, Casey, as usual, separated herself from the community where Robert was waiting for her. Robert told her that his sister was Matt's ex-girlfriend, and Matt used to love her. They moved in together when Matt started to show his cruelty. Robert informed Casey that his sister had escaped from him and happily married someone else. He admitted that his sister had forgiven Matt's atrocities, but he hadn't. Robert confessed that when he saw Casey, he fell for her, and now his mission was to free her from Matt. Casey was speechless upon hearing this and asked for some time to think. She knew what Robert suggested was not easy because Matt was very influential, and most police heads were his friends. However, Robert was a good man, good-looking and sincere, and the only one who had spoken up for her. Otherwise, everyone was under the illusion created by Matt. Casey began to contemplate Robert's proposal, but she was aware that it could endanger Robert's life if Matt found out. Casey began meeting Robert discreetly, always under the watchful eye of guards. Robert advised her on how to escape from Matt. He knew involving the police or seeking a restraining order would alert Matt, potentially tipping the case in his favor. Casey's initial task was to gather evidence. She started recording Matt during his abusive episodes. Both Casey and Robert exercised great patience. Once they had accumulated enough evidence, Robert sent it to rival business people, seeking their assistance in Casey's rescue. Robert was careful not to leak this evidence until he secured support from influential individuals. This precaution was taken to protect Casey from potential harm by Matt. One night, while Casey and Matt were asleep, a loud thud at the door signaled the arrival of the police. They secured Casey and arrested Matt. When Matt realized Casey's involvement, he revealed his true colors, making threats in front of the media. Every news outlet covered his atrocities and threatening behavior as Robert provided the press with proof after the raid. Following Matt's arrest, Casey found herself alone and approached Robert. She hugged him, and tears welled up. Her harrowing past was now behind her.